Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 93. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today. Time truly is our greatest asset. And the fact that you're willing to share your time with me truly does mean a great deal. So thanks for being here. And let's make the time we have together really, really impactful. I want to talk to you today, though, about one of the most basic concepts and unpack one of the simplest yet most powerful truths in sales and life. And that simply is, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Whether you're in sales, whether it's in life, regardless of the industry that you're in, one of the things that we fail to do is simply what I call the ask, is just ask for what you truly, truly want. And I think there's a few reasons as to why we may not ask or we're hesitant to ask. And number one, I think, is just because we view it as rejection. You know, if somebody says no, we view that as a rejection to us. Here's what I know. No is not a rejection to us. It's simply data. It's simply feedback from the person that you're speaking to or that you're working with to sell or you're working with in life just to navigate life. It really is just data. It's not a reflection of your worth. It might be the timing. It might be their budget. It might be that they don't even see the value yet. You might be approaching them too early in their career or their life for them to respond with yes. And what I love about that is, don't take it personally. It's not rejection of you. It truly is just data. It's data that they're giving you to process about where they are and what they're able to do in their response of either yes or no. It's really that simple. The other thing is, one of the universal laws is, if you want something, you have to ask for it. If you want the client, you have to ask for the deal. If you want the referral, you have to ask for the introduction to people that they know. People are not mind readers. And I think a lot of times we think, oh, they know that I'm in sales. They know that I sell houses. They know that I depend on their referrals. No, they don't. They really don't. It's really important that we remind them. And I think part of the reason, more than ever, even more important than it was from years ago, is that we portray typically a very successful life and business on social media. We post about all of the great things. We don't post about, hey, my business is down a little bit. Could really use your help with a referral or with anybody you know that's looking to do X, whatever it is that you're selling, whatever industry that you're in. And we don't ask for it. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes that we could make, is assuming that people know that we want a referral or that we want to work with them. You know, it's funny, I think of a couple instances early on in my real estate career when my price point changed and I started selling higher end homes. And, you know, of course, I was marketing that I was selling higher end homes. And what I found out was some people thought, oh, you know what? He probably wouldn't want to mess around with something that's only $400,000. And that was my fault. That was 100% my fault because A, I didn't ask them for the business, and B, I didn't educate people that I was willing to work and help anyone, not just luxury or not just seven-figure homes. So that was 100% on me. But what was happening is I wasn't asking enough people for referrals. You know, even people that had bought a $200,000 or $300,000 house from me, I need to make sure that they understood I was asking for business from them and their friends, and there wasn't a price tag on the person's head. So just remember, you can't get what you don't ask for. That's point number 2. You can't get what you don't ask for. Don't be disappointed if you don't. Another thing, sharing about this, you can't get what you don't ask for, is I'm working on a project right now that is requiring me to go really back heavily into a sales mode And I'm realizing that I may not have done such a great job of letting people know everything that I do. And I'm having to resell them and educate them at the same time. But this thought of, well, I'll just let people know what I'm doing and they'll raise their hand is not true. It's not. I've been in sales for, gosh, my entire career, really, since my Marriott days, and in real estate and in coaching. And what I'm finding out is this statement is really, really true. You can't get what you don't ask for. I've had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and asking people for help doing this other project. And that is something I haven't had to do in a while. And so there is a lot of truth. Be bold and just remember you simply have to ask. Number three, another talking point about this, that the answer is always no if you don't ask, is that clarity sells. And I want you to really think about that. Clarity sells. Make the ask clear and direct. Don't hint around. Let me know if you're interested. That's hinting around versus would you like to move forward today? Can we sign the paperwork today? Can I send you the contract right now? What questions do you have before I send you the contract? Don't beat around the bush. Be really, really clear and direct on what you want. I know as a human being, when people are trying or attempting to sell me on something, I really appreciate people being direct. Yes, I like rapport. Yes, I like getting into relationship and having a little bit of fun in the conversation. But what I appreciate the most is when somebody just comes outright and asks me exactly what they want. Are you open to purchasing this? Are you open to a conversation about this new resource that will help your business grow by X%? Get to the point. I tend to be a high driver and I appreciate that. However, I know that regardless of what your personality type is, having clarity on what the person who is selling you or asking you in life to do is really important, and it allows you to make a decision much quicker. You're not trying to filter, gosh, do they need help? Is this something they want me to buy? I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this phone call is or this meeting. So clarity sells. Make and ask clear and direct request. If you don't, you're going to confuse or delay or completely derail the person from ever engaging. The fourth point I want to talk about is people respect confidence, not pushiness. There's a huge difference. There's a boutique shop that I like to go visit here in Santa Fe that has phenomenal, phenomenal clothing. And for us in Santa Fe, that's a challenge because we don't have, Neiman Marcus. We don't have Nordstrom's. We don't really have nicer clothing lines. There's a couple stores that are boutique-y. And I will tell you, there's one of them that the salespeople are beyond pushy. There's a difference. I love it when a salesperson can help me and say, hey, you know what? I think this would look great with that. Let me just grab it and tell me what you think. I think they complement each other really well. The experience I had the other day, not long ago, was this salesperson clearly wanted me to buy this punched leather jacket. There are a couple issues with it. That's not what I was looking for. I was really clear on what I was looking for. And this was not at all what I went in there looking for. The other issue with it was $3,500. And that is not what I was looking to spend that day. And the third issue with it it fit everywhere, but for whatever reason, this designer did really, really long sleeves. So I not only was going to have to spend $3,500 on a jacket that I wasn't looking for, I was going to have to spend a lot of money getting it altered. This salesperson carried that from place to place and followed me around. And then when I was paying for what I came in to buy, she had it there and started to write it up on the ticket. There's a difference between confidence and pushy. And I will tell you that turned me off completely. I almost wanted to just say, you know what? I don't want anything. However, I was desperate for the shirt I was buying. And so I went ahead with it. So just keep in mind, there's a distinct difference between believing in what you're offering and being pushy, like you care about the sale, more than you care about the person. She didn't care about what I was in there looking for. I made it very clear when I walked in the door. It's a store that they know me. It's a store that I shop in quite a bit. And I am very particular about what I buy, especially there, because it tends to be a little bit more pricey. But it was really obvious to me that she cared more about the sale than she cared about me in that moment. And so watch the difference between confidence and pushy. Number 5, create permission-based selling opportunities. This is really important. You might start off a little bit softer, asking for permission. Would it be okay if I showed you something that could blank? Okay, so in the instance with this leather jacket, which I'm not disputing it was gorgeous, but it's not what I needed. If she would have just simply said, would it be okay if I show you this jacket that I think would complement the denim shirt that you're looking at beautifully? I would have said, yes, feel free to show me, right? And that creates my curiosity, lets me be in control. I get to decide if I want to look at the jacket, yes or no. She was really forcing it on me at that point. And so she wasn't asking for permission. The next thing I knew, she held a jacket up and was putting my arm in it and was pushing it. So create permission-based opportunities. It's okay to start off with a little bit softer approach on a sale. One of my favorite scripts that I use is, would it make sense if we revisited? Would it make sense if we went ahead and set an in-person appointment? Would it make sense is a soft approach, yet direct enough to elicit a response? So create permission-based selling opportunities. The 6th thing, and I always say this jokingly, the fortune's in the FU, the fortune's in the follow up. That's the FU, not maybe what you're thinking. But most sales, 80% of our business comes from follow up. So if we stall out on the initial ask and we don't get a yes, if we do not ask again, the answer is going to be no, because we didn't ask. There's so much business left on the table because we don't do appropriate follow-up. Not doing follow-up is not asking. Not asking is a guaranteed no. So follow-up is extremely important to do. I always say that, as salespeople, we do a great job. We're pretty excited. We're looking for the right now, which is pretty typical. And we're priming the pump for water to come out. I don't know if you've ever seen an old-fashioned pump where you have to prime it to get the water to flow. What we do really well as salespeople is we prime, and the second somebody says no, we stop priming the pump. If we don't follow up and prime it a couple more times, the answer is going to be no. But what tends to happen is somebody outsells us. Your competition comes, the person's already been primed, and they're ready to now make a decision because you got them thinking about it. But the other salesperson comes up and continues to prime the pump, and they get the sale, not you. So the answer is always no if you don't do the appropriate follow-up. It's just amazing to me, I believe, that as salespeople, because we're conditioned on instant gratification, we're conditioned on the right now, that we fail to do the follow-up and we fail to ask again. I think about some major purchases that I've made, from cars to houses to nice pieces of art. I'm a pretty decisive human being. And if I know I'm looking for something specific, I'm a pretty easy sale because I go in with the budget, I go in knowing what I want, and I typically will say yes or no pretty easily. Yet there have been times where I've hesitated for a moment. I don't know why. And yet when the salesperson follows up with me, chances are they're going to get that sale or another sale from me. Good, better, and different. I know what I like. And yet there are times where I just need a moment, especially if it's a significant amount of money, to think about something. And while I'm thinking about it, I might slide into doubt, or I might lose the emotion of what the purchase will do, right? I slide back into logic. And a talented salesperson who uses the power of follow-up as an ask, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if I get a no immediately and I fail to follow up, it's always going to be no. Talented salespeople that have earned my business time and time again are amazing at follow up. Now, I want to tie follow up and pushiness together. I have had people that have followed up that are too pushy, that they haven't listened or they haven't really heard what I'm looking for, or I can tell that they're after the sale and not the relationship. So in your follow-up, please keep in mind that there's a difference between the confidence that you would use to follow up and being pushy. I love a good follow-up question. Listen, I know we had a conversation. You expressed an interest. I respect that you took some time to think about it. I want us to re-engage today and talk about how this would impact you. That's showing that I care about the person and I'm following up, asking for the business again. And the last thing, and another area that we fail terribly at as salespeople, is asking for referrals like it's normal. Like it's asking somebody to pass a drink to you. One of the most missed opportunities that we have are referrals. After you've delivered value in service to someone, or you've demonstrated your value and you've helped them, or you've just engaged in a relationship with them, it's simply asking, who else do you know who could benefit from my services? But we don't do what I call just the simple ask. We just assume that people that we know who are in our database, are in our sphere of influence, that we've done business with, that they automatically know to refer people to us. I promise you, they don't know that. We have to educate them from our first interaction with them that our business is built on referrals, how much we appreciate getting referrals from the people that we enjoy working with. The assumption that people will give you a referral is basically not asking, and not asking is a guaranteed no. It is so funny when I'm coaching a client and maybe they're a new client in my private coaching schedule, or there's somebody in my group coaching, and I will ask them, tell me how you close and tell me how you ask for a referral. And a good percentage of them don't. Well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to assume. I think if they knew about somebody who wanted to buy X, they would automatically think of me. I have a news flash. They don't. There's so many people that we sell to that are not in a sales environment that they don't understand the power of a referral. And so simply not asking for a referral is not asking, and not asking is a guaranteed no. So ask for the referral like it's normal, like you're saying hello and goodbye. Hey, remember, I love working with people like you. If you know anybody who's thinking about selling or buying X, would you feel comfortable connecting us? Fantastic. Would you do me a favor? When you meet somebody or hear of somebody looking for my service, would you just send us a quick group text with their information and I'll take it from there? I'm educating them that I want a referral and I'm educating them how to do it. Because here's what I know. If somebody simply says, oh my gosh, you got to use Tony, here's his contact information, there's a very slim chance that that person will reach out to me. But if the referring person connects us via a group text and just says, Tony, this is Sue. I work with her. I told her that you were a great real estate agent and that she absolutely needed to reach out to you because she's thinking about buying a house. I'm going to immediately get in touch with Sue and I'm going to ask for a meeting, because if I just assume that Sue's been introduced and I need to let her take the lead, I'm not asking. And if I'm not asking, the answer is always no. So really do just consider referrals to be normal and feel really good about your services that you've provided, that you feel comfortable asking for the referral. So just remember, every opportunity you want is just one question away. Make asking a daily habit. Whether it's asking for the business, the sale, the connection, or the opportunity, whatever it is, own it. Just know if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. I'm learning, team, and I always share with you what's going on in my world on this project that I'm working on. I have to tell you, I was running stories in my head. This was a big ask. It's completely different than anything else I've done. People know me as a coach. They know me as an entrepreneur. They know me as a successful real estate agent. And here's this other thing I'm asking them. And I started running these rackets, these stories about, they don't know me in that capacity. They're probably not going to be comfortable because it's a big ask. And what I found when I just pulled it together and coached myself, and I talked to my coach who gave me some tough love, which is exactly what I needed. When I simply asked the question, people were ecstatic to help. People were ecstatic to make a connection. You know what? That's something that I don't do at my company, but this person does. Let me immediately get you in touch with them. I got more yeses by simply asking the uncomfortable question. And the only person that was uncomfortable was me. And what was amazing is the very first person I went to gave me a resounding yes. But I will be honest, it took me 3 days and a conversation with my coach to engage in the activity. I had to do some thought work. I had to do some mindset work. I knew what to do. I knew what to say. I knew the value of what I was offering, but I get out of my head and ask the question. Had I not asked that first person, the answer would have been no. And it may have set me up for more no's because it didn't help me just take that first step in asking. So please just remember, if you don't ask, it's a guaranteed no. It's that simple. So remember these 7 things. Rejection is not personal. It's simply data. Number 2, you cannot get what you don't ask for. Number 3, clarity sells. Be clear and direct. Don't beat around the bush. Don't hint. Don't hope that they know what you're selling or asking for. Be clear and direct. It's very simple. Number 4, do not confuse confidence with pushiness. There is a tremendous difference between the two. Confidence is that you believe in what you're offering. Pushiness is you're after the sale and you don't really care about the person. Number 5, create permission-based selling opportunity. It may start off as a softer sell and move to the ask, but make sure that you're creating permission-based selling. Would it be okay if? Number 6, the power of follow-up. Truly, success is in the FU. It's in the follow-up because it's just another form of asking, and you'll get to a yes if you ask. Number 7, build in asking for referrals like it's normal, like it's saying, hey, pass the cheese, pass the bread at dinner. Just build it in as a part of your normal conversation. You get much more comfortable with asking for the referral, and people will understand that that's what you're looking for. Those are 7 key points to help you in asking for business or life or whatever it is that you're looking for. Because if you do not ask, the answer truly is no. All right, team, if you have any questions about this or anything else, you know how to reach me, Tony@rethinkcoaching.com. Really simple way, just send me an email. I'll send you a link to my calendar for a free 1-hour strategy call. You can go to our website, rethinkcoaching.com. There's a box to fill out for a free strategy call with me. That email will come directly to me. I'll reply to you with a link to my calendar. You can DM me on all of the socials, Insta, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of them. I'm on there, super easy to find. And if you're brave enough to Google me, you'll find my cell phone and you can always reach out. I'm always here to help you out with this or with anything else. So please go ask and get to a yes. We'll talk to you soon. Make it a great week. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.